Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Perchy here from the Perchy TV. How is everybody doing? And first of all, welcome Mia. Jumped on last minute. Thank you very much. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Enjoying another sunny day here by the beach.
Sun is out here today as well. It's absolutely lovely. Let's see who we've got in today. Big up Danny Glover, mate. Always first one in here. Welcome, mate. Big up Juice Monkey, living it over on Twitch. One of the real ones over on Twitch. The only one over on Twitch. Again, don't forget to subscribe over there if you haven't. The master of the mods, the master mod is here. Mr. Kaufman, we love you. How are you doing, sir? I hope you're well. Haaland for Ballon d'Or. I mean, we're going straight in, yeah. I don't see why not. Big up Juicy, mate. Hope you're well, mate. Big up Antonis. Good day, Perchy. Good day, all. Yes, good day. Big up Ryan Macy, mate. Big up to you, my friend. Hope you're well. Big up Wolves Finland and the chat, of course. Big up Spurs Plus. Big up the Sheriff, Mr. Cousins. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're well. Big up Mama Flossie. Up the Toon Army. Hope you are doing well. And I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Is it Delio Wits? I'm going to go with Delio Wits. If I've said it wrong, big up to you, mate. Afternoon, everyone. If you're in, if you haven't, please go and smash the likes on your way in. If you haven't subscribed, please do that as well. Let's have a chat. And obviously, if you've got any other questions, guys, put them down the bottom. Oh, we're going to be blessed. We're going to be also blessed as well by the master mod is going to decide to be the master streamer as well. Big up, Kaufman. How are you, sir? Oh, he's spinning, but he's there. And also, yeah, get your questions in the chat. How you doing, Koff? How are you doing, sir?
I'm alive. How are we doing, guys? How are we doing? Hopefully everyone in chat is well.
All good, mate. All good. Thank you for coming on. Guys, the news came out yesterday about James Maddison and Harvey Barnes. I put a video about earlier this morning. Got quite a few views and stuff. If you haven't, go and watch it after the stream. Don't do it now. Go and watch that. If you haven't watched it, go and watch the video later on. About 10-15 minutes of me just sort of going through the sort of understandings of the Harvey Barnes and James Maddison deal. What are your thoughts on it, guys? Purported, obviously, the £50 million was actually debunked by Romano, saying that didn't happen, but the valuation between Spurs and Leicester at the moment is a way off. Yeah. What are you guys' thoughts on it? Would you have both in?
Well, I don't know if that fee is a fake fee. This is Tottenham we're talking about. We do stupid stuff like I'm going to believe Romano at this moment in time. But if that is true, that we've bid 25 million each, that is a derisory offer if I've ever heard one. But it's probably true. But if we're a long way off, that is crazy because both these players go straight into our team. Both of them.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
So, I would absolutely have Harvey Barnes and James Maddison. Those two would be great. Both English, so don't help the homegrown quota help the homegrown quota a lot, and they would actually help the team. So get them in.
Agreed.
In. 50 million for James Maddison, 30 million for Harvey Barnes. Get it done. Two quality players for us.
Absolutely agree with you. And Mia, what are your thoughts? Because the way I looked at it as well, I looked quite into it a bit and stuff about where players will play. I think we expect James Maddison to play as a sort of a 10 role, maybe even a deep 8, an aggressive deep 8 that pushes higher into the pitch. Harvey Barnes was a good one because I thought about Harvey Barnes in this, and I want to get your take on it. Predominantly plays out on the left, which is where Heung-min Son plays. Mm-hmm. So what you've got there, you've got a better ability, I think, towards Son, someone that can push harder. But what you've also got there is you've also got someone that can play down the middle instead of James Maddison if you needed to rotate for some sort of other reasons. Mia, is it frozen? Have I frozen?
No, I'm still here.
Go for it. I think my camera's frozen, I think.
No, you're still moving, Perch. You're still moving.
Good. It froze for me. But anyway, so
let it go.
Yeah, let it go, exactly as Frozen would say. Mia, so apologies. And what are your thoughts on how we would integrate both Barnes and Maddison into the team?
Yeah, I think it's good to have someone to maybe push Sonny because we know he's been playing with an injury this season. However, I think it's always good to have a player to maybe push him, to make him maybe think about the fact that his place isn't secured, that we could have a player like there to take over and a different option. Joe, what though, with Maddison, I'm going to go against the grain on this one. And I don't particularly like Maddison. There's something about him that I've always said I'm not entirely sure about. I'm not really bought by him. And actually, Ellie made a very good point. I'd actually rather have Eze from Crystal Palace.
I'd have,
I like
both.
Eze.
I'd have all three of them.
I mean, all three of them is a bit unrealistic, let's be honest, because of the money.
We have to sign new players.
But yeah, no, we do have to sign new. But
we have to sign new players.
But my point is, Ben, is that the most important parts of the goalkeeper, centre backs, and if we get the other players, obviously we have to get rid of a lot of players. We've got a lot of players at the moment, and of course, if we can get money and buy other players, absolutely. But we're going to have to be realistic, probably, about what we're going to get. But for me, I would rather have Eze than Maddison. I just feel like that he hasn't got that chip on his shoulder attitude. I think Eze is a hard worker. He's strong. He's got good ability, and I really like him.
But he's not necessarily a number 10 though, which is what we need. We need a creative midfielder. Eze plays off the right, drifting into the middle. We need someone that's going to play in the middle of the park, linking the play together. That's exactly what we need. We haven't had one of those since Christian Eriksen left 4 years ago, whenever the hell it was.
Agreed.
That is what we need. Eze is great, but Eze will cost you 80 million. That's a lot more unrealistic than James Maddison for 50 million.
Agreed.
He will also be English, and it's exactly what we need. Maddison was one of the players I went, wow, when he played against Tottenham this year. He glides over the park. He links play together. He's a free kick taker. He's a corner taker. He's exactly what we need in the middle of the park. And he isn't expensive.
Agreed.
That's the player we need. I'm a football fan, so I don't care about how much it costs. We need an FA. We should have him. That's a player we should say, that's going to be your right winger for the next 10 years. Agreed. 80 million is no money that's 10 million pounds a year for a player that's going to give you hard work, creativity, homegrown, ticks all the boxes. All the boxes. I love Kulusevski, but if you say Kulusevski or Eze, I'm taking Eze every day of the week.
But Ben, I think the key one here, and I do agree actually with everything you say actually, but the one thing I don't necessarily is what David's putting is how available is he? Yes, he's at Palace, but the question's got to be, they're going to want a big fee here. The question is if we go and put big money in for the likes of Bere Eze, which I want, by the way, I massively will champion that. Same with Elise, by the way. I'd love both of them. I think they're both brilliant players. But the question you've got to be now is financially at the moment. Whereas James Maddison and Harvey Barnes are much more financially viable because they're both in a team that players that are definitely Premier League players that have been relegated. So you could probably easier to get a hold of. Whereas Eze, you're right. You're going to have to pay the round of a 70 to 80 million pounds to bring him in, and not to say that that's not the right thing to do. But we've got bigger problems than an attacker. Does that make sense? For me, if we're going to be putting 80 million pounds on a player, where I want it to be on a centre half or a number 6 that can actually defend.
I was speaking to my good friend Mr. Graham yesterday, and he said we could sell a lot of our defenders and get money to buy more defenders. We can sell an Eric Dyer for 10 million quid.
Really?
We can sell
I was on Henry's channel and we did a bit of a calculation on it. I think I genuinely, without being unfair on the players I would want to get rid of, but I don't think we'd get anything anywhere past 100 million quid easily.
We can sell Dyer for 10 million. We can sell Sanchez for 10 million.
You might be able to get 10 million. Sanchez, you'll be lucky to get 10 million on 1 year left on his contract.
You'll get 10, 15 for Sanchez. 10, 15 for Sanchez. We can sell a Tanganga for a 10 million quid.
You think you'd get 10 million for Tanganga from who?
He's homegrown.
So?
And people want that. I hate it. If it was me, Perchy, I would be sacking them. I'd be firing them. I'd get them out the door.
I get the sentiment, but I sit back and I think about it and I go, let's go from top to bottom. Hugo Lloris, are you going to get any money for him?
No money for Lloris.
Okay, let's keep going down. Are we going to keep Emerson Royale? Probably. So we'll park him.
Emerson is not a player I would sell yet.
But okay, let's just keep him. So we think we're going to get what? How much for Sanchez?
You'd be lucky £10 million for Sanchez.
You'd be lucky to get 10 million quid for him. Let's be honest. I think he's absolutely. How he's made over 200 appearances for this football club baffles me. By the way, I think he's absolutely horrible. Eric Dyer, you'd be lucky to get 10 million quid if you'd snap 8 million quid off your hands. Ben Davis, I'd probably one of those I'd actually keep a hold of for a year. I mean, he's not amazing, but you've got someone that wants
10 million for Ben Davis.
You'd probably get 10 million. Fine, I'll let you have 10 million on Ben Davis.
But it's not. It's
Ryan,
if we sell all
Ryan
the players. Sessegnon, I think you get 5 million for him.
Perisic, nothing.
Perisic, nothing.
You see what I mean?
It's not about how much they're going. If you could sell 5 of the players for 10 million, that's a centre back. We don't need a big squad this year because we're not playing in Europe, and we've got 35 position realistically. We've got 35 players on the books, so we need to get rid of a load of them.
100%.
We can get 15 million. I wouldn't sell him, but we can get 15 million for Sergio Reguilon easy. We can get 25 million pound for Lo Celso to Villa.
How much do you think you get Reguilon for?
You can get 15 million quid for Reguilon.
I'll be honest, I'll tell you what, he ain't getting time in Spain. Didn't even get he barely got minutes last season.
15 million for Reguilon, I think.
I think you'd be lucky to get 15 million quid for him. You might get lucky and get someone like I'm just maybe even like an Aston Villa wouldn't even go for someone like a Sergio Reguilon. I mean, they've got Moreno.
They would go for Lo Celso for 25 million.
Who's that?
Get
Sorry?
rid of the players of the team. We're no longer going to be playing with a player like Lo Celso. If we can get 25 million for him, that'd be amazing. Yes, we lose quite a bit of money on it, but I think you can get small fees. It's the Lord of the Rings quote. It's the small stones that cause an avalanche. If we can sell a load of players for 5 million each, we can get a centre back.
I'm all. No. I still think we should be getting a centre half. I'm not. This is not the report on that. I agree. I actually agree with what you're saying on it. But for me, at the moment, I sit back and I go, "There's not a much." The only player in our team at the moment that I think we would get, in air quotes, a substantial amount is probably Højbjerg. It's probably the only one
we can get 25 million for.
25 to 30 million pounds for him, and he's probably the only one where you get a substantial fee for. The rest, it will be nominal fees of around 10 to 15 million quid if we're very lucky. Some will be a lot south of that. We may even have to rip up a lot of contracts.
We're going to have to anyway. Ndombele, I think you can get 10 million for Ndombele. He's still young. He's got quality talent. I think you can get 10 million for him.
You get Ndombele for 10. Oh, mate, not on the wages.
It's very difficult. It's his wages.
Not on his wages. You'll be lucky
to get rid of him. It's the wages. You could get, if it was just the player, you could get 10 million for it.
Yeah, probably.
It's the wages. It's the wages.
The problem is he's best suited in the likes of an Italian league, but at the moment in Italy, there's no money in Italy for football players. They're not going to be able to
do well in because of how his technical ability, but not his work rate. That is the problem. I can't see how buy Ndombele though. Not many of them. Realistically, you're going to have to pay him off for 10, 20 million quid. You're going to have to do it.
And the rest, he's still got 2 years left. He's on 200 grand a week. He's basically on $1 million a month. Yeah. Just under $1 million a month.
Who thought it was a good idea to pay him 200 grand a week?
He's magic, you know.
He didn't offer him the contract.
He bought him though. It was his player. Trust me, I've read a lot about it. It was his player. I mean, of course, there's so many people
that were involved with that should have done the due diligence and that.
There was a lot. I mean, listen, we all blame Daniel Levy for a lot of things, and I agree to a certain extent the majority of it. But our recruitment and our due diligence in recruiting. Bear in mind, Daniel Levy's one of the signs at the top. So he has to have listened to people. And the people below him that he's employed are clearly saying the wrong thing. That is the biggest problem. Our recruitment. And this is where I always come to the sort of point. And I didn't really want to touch on Mr. Levy because I get rattled. I get rattled and stuff. And big up to the 48 of you in here. Massive love. I hope you're all doing well. We'll catch up. I've started some of your stuff that you've questioned, guys, because I want to go through it as well with the guys here. But my point, what I was trying to make was that we spend money. When we say, "Oh, we don't spend a lot of money," yeah, we do.
No,
we spend a lot.
That's the most wrong statement.
We
in the
spend
world.
a lot of money, but we spend a lot of money terribly. We spend money horrendously. And Mia, I was going to pick you up on this one. I wanted to bring up this topic here. The David Raya deal seems to be taking too long. Looks like Inter are now involved. Are you worried that this is not going to happen?
I am really worried. I said that this morning on my video, actually, that I done. So after this, you definitely should go over and watch that. I said that I am concerned because they might lose their goalkeeper, so they need a goalkeeper. And even if they don't lose their goalkeeper, Chelsea are still looking for a goalkeeper. So that means
Chelsea want their goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Chelsea want their goalkeeper, Onana, but if they don't get Onana, they will want Raya. So either way, either Chelsea or Inter are going to be going after him. So we need to wrap this up quick. I am getting really worried now. I am getting worried. I'm not going to lie.
It's the same thing we said in the Pedro Porro deal. If Pedro Porro was our number one target and they've put a fee down, you pay it. You get your number one target in, and the players that are a bit below the number one target, that's when you can have a bit of a haggle. Because if you lose them, you're thinking, okay, there's other fish to fry. On your number one target, your marquee signing for the window, which is going to be David Raya, in my opinion, because that is the player that's going to revolutionise our attack. It's going to bring back our counter-attacking prowess, and he's good at distribution. That's the player you say, okay, we need this guy. 40 million, we'll think about the fee later. That's the player you need. We're desperate for a goalkeeper. Desperate for a goalkeeper. Get him in. Think about the money later. That's what you need to do.
Yeah. Big up Juice Monkey, Gooner and stuff. Well, how you doing, mate? You don't really need money. Arsenal got ripped for letting players go for free and tearing up contracts, but invested well, and now way ahead and way where they were prior. And it absolutely bang on. We need to go down that model now and go, do you know what? We need to just go, do you know what? We're cutting losses. We have to. We cut losses and go, we're going to buy smart signings.
Yeah.
And then once we bought those smart signings, we sprinkle a little bit of magic, a couple of bit of magic each transfer window. Doesn't have to be loads of money, but that's what Arsenal went and done. They went and got the likes of Odegaard on loan. When it was good, then bought him.
Yeah.
Smart signings, weren't they? And
it's one of the things Manchester City done. And your point earlier about spending a lot of money poorly, what did Manchester City do? They spent a lot of money, but they got the top director of football in footballing history, which is Tixi Begiristain. The man oversaw Barcelona's God-tier reign. That's what we need to do. You get, and I think Postecoglou is a really good person to have because of his knowledge of the European market, of the Asian market. He's going to know those players.
Of course.
So it's a start, but we need to get our recruitment sorted.
But Koff, mate, I've always said I want us to go in and get players from this, that, and the other, other things. Big up Ruti too, by the way. I just wanted to know, even with several players only worth zero, we can get 180 to 200 million for the lot we need to sell.
That includes the wages, because if it included wages, I would somewhat agree with that.
How could we get 200 mil for players?
We're not paying, for example, let's say we get.
I'm trying to work out though. What for 200 mil? What are we buying? For who are we selling to for 200 mil? The players that we want to get rid of come to about 230 odd mil that we spent. We're not going to get much money back. It was a great one. It was actually on Henry's show. I was on Henry's show with Sava and Shawnee Boy. Big up to those guys as well. And we were just chatting, and we were just talking, going, when was the last player we made significant profit on a player? We actually went back and worked this out. Significant profit. I'm not talking about 5-6 million quid. I'm on about significant profit on a player.
I cannot remember.
I'll leave you guys with that one.
Where you got Kyle Walker, we sold him for 50 million. And
Kyle Walker 1
million. Gareth Bale, 180 million. Bale.
Berbatov, Modric, really?
Yeah. sort of.
I mean, think about it. There's not many others.
Include with that because we bought him for 16, if I can remember. We sold him for 30.
30, yeah, it was 32. I think we sold him for.
32.
We doubled our money on it. Yeah.
Berbatov
was what a player, by the way. What a player.
But okay, so he's put the list. Davis, Tanganga, Sessegnon, Gill.
Where's this?
I mean, could you get £30 million for Brian Hill?
I think we keep Brian Hill.
Firstly, I think we keep Brian Hill.
I think. Do you know what Brian Hill has? And he's one of those. It'll be one of those for 6 months for the half the season up until January to go. Do you know what? Let's see how this lad can play.
Yeah, I see him
as a techie. He's a techie winger, but yes, I think he's not built massively strong and he's a bit weak in that sense.
He's got to go to He's got to go to Ellie's house. He's either got to go to Ellie's house for some delicious Greek food, or he's got to go to the Wimpy. He needs to put some weight on him, that boy. He makes me look overweight. That's how thin Brian Hill is. I'm
Joe, what I need to do? I need to take him to Cyprus, Ben. My aunties would love to feed him up. Eat. They'd love it.
Bigger.
He needs some food in him, that boy, to play in. He's not physical enough for the Premier League. He looks great in Spain. He looks good in Europe. He's got a great cross on him, but you're going to get pushed off the ball in the Premier League.
Yeah, of course.
Listen, you could blow too hard and he'd fall over. Do you know what I mean? Like you could just blow on him a little bit.
But I just think we've got someone that there's something. It's a weird one. There's something about him that I can go. Do you know what? I can see something there. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I can see yet. I don't really know what his best position is, but I can see under the likes of Postecoglou, I can actually see something that he'll fit a system. What the system is, I don't know, by the way, but I do see something about it.
Do you know, do you think about Lo Celso? Because it's been touted around that he is going to leave. Obviously, that the Villa are in for him, but I think we can get a decent, not a lot of money, like the money
20 million. I would say 25 million.
At least get some money for him, man. I'd rather get rid of him personally because I think we're going to have to keep Ndombele because of the money. I don't think no one's going to be able to pay his wages.
Ndombele's got to be.
We can get 30 million for Højbjerg and 20 million for Lo Celso. That's your centre back. That's a quality centre back.
Who?
What do you mean?
Højbjerg.
Højbjerg and Lo Celso. Get rid of those two.
Sorry, I thought it cut out and you named a centre half. What centre? That's a good question. We'll talk about centre halves because who are people wanting at centre half?
The problem is my main target is going to Roma. The guy I would personally have is Nikola Milinkovic from Fiorentina because
you champion him all the time. Fair play.
He's an enormous Serbian geezer. He's brilliant in the air, and that is exactly what we need. That's what we need. Someone that can head a ball because as much as I think Romero can be good, he can't head a ball. So get a centre half next to him that can head a ball.
I mean, there's a lot of other things Romero needs to do better next season. A lot more.
But we need a Milinkovic, a player that's tall and can head a ball.
And you know what else? It's no nonsense, isn't it? You want someone who's no nonsense. That's what you need.
A proper defender I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see a proper... None of this ball-playing crap. I want to see a defender that defends.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is
I hate Longley. It's why I hate Longley. Because everyone... When I speak with people about Longley, the first thing they say about at least he can pass a football, at least he can put a ball. When I hire a barista for my other company, I don't hire a barista because they can clean a table well, or because they dress well, or because of this. I hire a barista because they can make coffee. I hire defenders because they can defend. That's surely in the name of the title, defender. It's like Richarlison. I want a striker that can score goals, not someone that scores 10 goals a year. That's not a striker.
Agreed.
I mean, that is crazy.
No, I agree. We've got some. I'm just going to go through some of the comments and just chat. Because been chatting. How much is Spurs genuinely spending in the summer? 150 mil.
That doesn't even scratch the surface on what we
need. I think it will be around 150 mil, but it will not.
But here's the 150 million. We should be buying 3 players for that. What Tottenham
don't. No, I don't.
We spend
I think we should be
150
paying
million on
more than
7
that.
players. Whenever we buy a load of players, it's always the number 7. The Bale money, 7.
But I don't mind us buying players in
No,
quantity.
but we want 3 quality players and then go to the next window rather than buy 7 average players. That's what we need to think about. Quality, not quantity.
No, but some of it can actually be. I get your point, and you're using the Gareth Bale saga, and that's always a great point. But with the Gareth Bale saga, at the time, by the way, those were high fees of what we were paying. We were paying what we thought was quality, but actually it turned out to be absolute dross. For me, I'm actually in the actual camp of, I don't necessarily want us to go and spend loads of money on players. I want us to go out and find hidden gems for 10, 15 million pound players that I go, do you know what? We can build a system around. And that's how I see it. I don't want us to go out and spend 50 million pound on this player. I like the idea of James Maddison and Harvey Barnes for about 60 million, 70 million pound. I think that's good value. I'd rather look for value than just for a price tag. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, do a bit like what Brighton do. When you look at the players that Brighton bring in, they don't spend loads of money, but they always they manage to scout very good players. That's where we go wrong, and that's what we need to do.
The person in charge of Brighton, the man called Tony Bloom, he's a former poker player, so it makes sense that he's obsessed with statistics and numbers.
I want us to go to Celtic and sign a Matt O'Reilly, a Rio Hatate.
Yeah.
I want us to go and pick up these players I want us to go to Benfica and bring Jota in or someone like that. If we get Barnes, obviously that'll be the player there. But my point being is we should be looking at these younger lads. We're looking at a young lad from Japan. I like the idea of that. That gets me excited.
Yeah.
These massive names, yes, they're great and it's all good. But for me, I get excited when I see a young up-and-comer come from somewhere out and he becomes amazing. But the thing is we have to give these players an opportunity. The likes of Sarr next season has to get an opportunity.
Yeah.
We brought in a Pape Matar Sarr. Glimpses of him I like glimpses of him.
I like the guy.
Energy. He had energy on him. He had legs on him. Looked good. And I sit there and I go, sort of players like that, like, I can see us actually getting in a good player here.
When was the last time we really bought a player like that, Perch?
The last one we bought.
The last time we bought a player that was totally unknown for not a lot of money was Delhi. And that's a long time ago now.
Luka Modric, you could argue, was in that.
People knew Modric. People knew about Modric. I mean, people knew Gareth Bale was at Southampton.
But people knew about Dele Alli as well, if we want to talk about, because obviously Liverpool wanted him as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but my point being is we need to be gazumping these teams and getting these players. Is my point. I get what you're putting. If we're talking about unknowns and stuff,
we don't have to scout.
You could argue Berbatov maybe. We should exactly. But I agree.
I get that, but you know what? When you look at Andrew's record, he's got an eye for really talented players. He scouts players really, really well. So that's what gives me the positivity, Ben, because he does scout players very, very well.
Which is why I think this is almost the right appointment.
It is.
It's either going to be an utter disaster or it's going to be unbelievable. It's one of those two. It's one of those two.
The reason I said it's going to be good, and I have said all along since we've got him, is because Levy likes young, cheap, prospective players. What does Ange get? Young players that are good prospects. So actually, it fits really well, which is really weird. But it
whether
does.
He listens to him. It's whether he listens to him.
Well,
we had a manager like that as well.
It's not about if Daniel Levy listens to Postecoglou. It's the point is if Brian, I'm on about if Scott Munn is the one that signs
Hopefully
it off.
He's in charge.
He's the man that should be in charge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's what we talked about.
So it's not about Postecoglou going to Daniel Levy and all this nonsense. This shouldn't be happening anymore because we've got a man in place.
Business. It shouldn't happen at any business, let alone
because what happened before, if you listen to what some of the journalists have said, and I have listened to a couple of different interviews now, is that actually Paratici did have a bit more power than what people maybe give him credit or not credit for. So Paratici did 2 jobs. Now we're getting Scott Munn and a DOF who's going to do the different the jobs individually, and basically Ange will go to them, and then Levy will just basically be the one who has to okay it, obviously, in the end.
Postecoglou has ever worked under a director of football.
No, he hasn't.
So if we've got a manager that's never had a director of football, why are we getting a director of football? Because you're undermining him immediately.
No, because he obviously agreed before he come into
Yeah,
that.
there would have been an agreement in place. That's how things were. Like the manager just wouldn't. If the manager wouldn't have accepted the role, so these things happen in conversations. They'll say, well, we're actually going to be looking to appoint either this person, or this person to be the director of football, sporting director, whatever we're going to call it.
What we really need is an academy director. That's who we actually need, because we need
we need a head of youth. We do need a head of youth, 100%.
We need a new. What I've heard from the people I know that's looked at the academy is the academy and the first team do not work together, which is why you don't see players come through the academy often.
True.
That needs to change now. There should be an absolute, there should be a view to academy players keep on leaving Tottenham. Romain Munda was left, and he looks like a really good player. We've lost Noni Madueke.
But do you know what? This was the detriment of the manager. But this was the detriment of the managers that we appointed, by the way. This was the detriment. When you appoint the likes of Jose and a Conte, this happens. They don't go, oh, do you know what? We have to bring these players through. No. I want to win now.
Well, that's the what's it called? Of having a scattergun approach, of having going from a manager.
That's
like
why we have not.
Who was academy driven. Then you go to Ramos, who isn't. Then you go to Redknapp, that is. Then you go to AVB, who isn't. Then you go to this. If you keep on changing your approach,
this is why
5 minutes.
This is why I do feel though the Postecoglou appointment is the right appointment. When everyone was like, oh, hating it, I think it's the right appointment because it fits on the DNA on how we operate. Listen, it doesn't matter what we think of Daniel Levy in the way that we think of. No. My point being is when I say DNA, I don't mean it in the way that we play and all that. I don't care about that. That's not what I mean about this. My point being is we've always been a club that doesn't really spend loads of money. Why do we need to go and we should get a manager that can find talent elsewhere, talent that's unrecognized talent that we can get. Go and sign players.
I'm totally open for. It's all about transparency. If the club came out and said, this is what we're going to do, this is our plan for the next 10 years, I'm thinking, cool, at least you've told me straight, instead of saying, oh, we're going to be going for winning trophies, we're going to play attacking football and then bring in Jose Mourinho, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
It's all about Brighton, perfect example again. They've told you, this is what we're going to do. We're going to buy young players in for cheap and sell them for lots of money, because that's how we operate. Tottenham like to say we're going to operate like this and then do something completely different. It's all about transparency.
And Simon's hit the nail on the head. This is how I see it. We need to stop signing names and start with ability. Agreed. Stop buying names. Buy players for the system. As I said, doesn't matter who the player is, as long as he's bought for the system. Not when we go and sign Richarlison, because it's just signing Richarlison. It's a question
that Sava likes to ask a lot. So hopefully he's started. Is stag do all right?
He's on the stag do. I think he's leaving today for the stag do. So
what is
if you're here, Mr. Sava?
What is?
As I get told that you're the boss, you're my boss. I keep getting told. I don't know why people keep saying that.
No one gave me that yet. What is a Tottenham player? We need to align a club philosophy now. We need to
absolutely bang on.
Piece of paper. What is Tottenham?
Agreed.
We don't have a philosophy. We've not had a philosophy as a football club since we won UEFA Cup in 1984. We do not have a philosophy. We don't have a footballing philosophy. We don't have a business philosophy. We don't have a club philosophy. The only philosophy is we've got a big stadium, we're making loads of money from concerts, and we have a football team that plays every couple of weeks.
Of course.
That is the current philosophy of Tottenham.
Of course.
We need to say, right, on a piece of paper, this is Tottenham. This is how we're going to be run. These are the managers we're going to be appointing. And instead of scattergunning, which is why I like the appointment of Scott Munn, even though many people know Scott Mann. Apparently, Scott Mann's mum doesn't even know who Scott Mann is. We need a philosophy. That is what we need more than anything. We keep on saying we're going to do this and then do that. If we write on a piece of paper, this is who we are, and we stick to it, all the fans in the chat, all the fans in the community, in the stadium will be perfectly happy because at least they know where we're going.
Do you know what? And I'll let Mia answer as well. Do you know what I want at the moment? I just want to be excited to watch Tottenham play.
Yeah.
I haven't been for nearly 2 years to be excited to go and watch us play. I watch us play out of habit and reasoning. I can't remember the last time I went, I was so excited about that game. I can't wait to finish work so I can get ready to watch the game. I haven't been like that for years. And I want to get, and I feel like under Postecoglou, I actually feel like we will get to that stage. And Mia, what about you?
I believe in it. I like the guy. I
do as well.
He's a nice guy. Not because I've been told he's a nice guy, like many of managers I've been told about are nice guys. He looks like a nice guy without me knowing absolutely nothing about him. And he looks like a man you can believe in. The way he talks to his players, the way he involves family values in the way he speaks to his players. We need to turn back into a family club. That's what we need to
agreed. I just want to say I'm completely against this, by the way. I thought Paratici, I don't know about you guys, but I thought Paratici was so underwhelming. I don't know where this notion that Paratici did an amazing job at Tottenham. I thought his appointments were poor. I thought he got lucky with a couple of players from his old club.
Yeah.
I don't get where this notion that Paratici was amazing.
That's okay. I've many people do it in any businesses. They bring people that they used to work.
Yeah, of course. But that to me doesn't tell me that.
The problem with Paratici is not just because of Paratici. It's because of the way he is a scout. He's not a director of football. He's a scout. That is what he was at Juventus. He had a CEO next to him like Morata, who did the deals, and he scouted the players, which is why he's got had a load of good players at Juventus, from what I've been told by the people that I know that work closely with him. And so he is a scout, but we don't have any scouts at the football club. We don't have any. We've got 6. We've got 6 full-time scouts at Tottenham, which is unacceptable. How many do Ajax have? They have got hundreds of them. Not all full-time, by the way. Having 115 full-time scouts would be idiotic. But you have at least 30 people around the world in every single part of a geographical location that's looking at players. If we're going to go down this route that we're apparently going, we need to sign young players from when they are like 14, 15, 16. That's when we've got possibly even 10 years old. And the way you do that is you have loads of scouts all around the world looking at youth clubs in Brazil and Argentina and all around the world. That's the way we've got to operate. And we only have 6 scouts for a club that's in the top 10 richest in the world. Is not acceptable. I
absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with you.
Knows this. How many scouts do you reckon Manchester City have?
They have loads.
But they must have 50.
They have them everywhere, though. That's how they find him. I just wanted to touch on, and sorry, Mia, you go. Sorry, apologies.
I've got to go.
Oh, yeah, no, you did say you're only going to stay for a little bit. Me and Ben will take over and finish off duty work. Thank you so much.
What do you mean take over? I haven't had the word in by the edgeways.
Mia, you're always welcome on. We'll be anytime, my friend. Make sure you go and subscribe to Mia's channel, by the way. Absolutely amazing channel. So go over there and share her some love. If you haven't, go over there.
I've just hit my 500 as well.
What are you on?
I've just hit 500. I'm on 500.
God, let's try and see if we can get, I don't know, 25, 30 more people from you that haven't subscribed to Mia. Go and do so and help her hit her targets, because amazing channel. Go over there and help her out. Make sure you put your link in the chat and I'll star it for everyone. I'll pin it as well.
I'm on it.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say let Ben does it. Go and subscribe. Talking of subscribe.
Ben's magic.
Ben's magic. He just clicks his finger and he does it. At the moment, I'm 18 subscribers away from 800. So it'll be amazing if you can go over there and do that. If you haven't already subscribed, that'll be lovely. There's 72 of you in here.
Yes,
amazing.
Definitely, and also.
Ooh.
Also, make sure you subscribe to Ben as well because he's got the most chilled channel.
Chill. If you want chill vibes,
Love a bit of Ben.
you're streaming tonight, this afternoon, my friend.
Absolutely, 2 o'clock.
Of course, he is.
I know
So
you're
gotta
working.
make sure
So you're always welcome to join.
Guys, these guys are amazing, and I think guys also remember, like, make sure you like and subscribe to everyone here as well, of course, and all content creators. People don't realize. You think we just sit here with a camera and it's easy. We have to set up stuff. We have to create stuff. We have to create thumbnails, and it takes up all your day. It genuinely does, and especially all of us have day jobs as well. So we have to sit there and muddle that in with our day job. So it share the love, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to these lovely people. If you haven't subscribed to me, please do so as well. We are on the road to 1,000. So, Mia, thank you so much for coming on. I know you're watching.
Yeah, no worries. So take care, guys.
Speak to you later, mate. Bye. Mr. Kaufman, we've got some questions, so let's go and ask some. Serious question. Serious, so be serious now. From Mr. Robin Aid. Who are a bigger club, Manchester City or Chelsea? City have more league titles.
At the moment, I would still say Chelsea because they've got more European titles.
Yeah.
But in 5 years, City will be the bigger club.
Agreed. I think that's a great shout. I think Manchester City, though, and I'm going to say this, I think this season had the best ever team we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I know people want to say about the 99 United squad.
No, the best team is the Barcelona team.
I was talking more Premier League, but if we're talking Barcelona, that Barcelona team is way above. Yeah, agreed. Oh, that was absolutely silky. But no, in the Premier League, I think this Man City team trumps the 99 Man United team just about. I think that Man United team was very good.
They're a better quality team. But if you saw those two teams play, I think the players like Roy Keane and Jaap Stams, I think they would still win just because of how ruthless they were. And they would find a way to beat better teams. And they played against Juventus with Zinedine Zidane, and Roy Keane played them off the park on his own. I think they would still edge it just about.
Thank you so much for Ryan Macy for your love. That's a lovely comment. I'm getting there. Listen, I've only been doing it for just over 3 months, and the fact I'm nearly on, it's absolutely remarkable. You guys are amazing, by the way. And the thing is it's all part of it. I enjoy the theatre of it all. I think it's just all good fun. I started to really get really in depth and enjoy it all. So thank you very much. Very kind words, Ryan. Thank you. Let's see what else we've got. We've got some more comments, but let's go through the comments quick. You guys all chatting through there. Yeah, well done, Hod God, for subscribing. Going to make sure that Big Ange and Levy are both stubborn. It's going to be a shit fight. Do you know?
Hopefully, again, Scott Munn is in charge.
Of course, Scott Munn's going to be the main one.
Director of Football Operations, which is his job title. That is his job title. He should be in charge.
Yep,
if
agreed.
He isn't, then it's a scandal.
No, I absolutely agree. We've got more questions. Harvey Barnes and James Maddison plus Raya coming in. What is left in the budget for the defenders? I'll leave that with you, mate.
It's a struggle because you're thinking if we believe 75 million plus 40 million, so that's 105 million.
Yeah,
so I'll pay 45 million for a couple of decent centre backs. I think you don't need to spend stupid money on a centre back. You just need to scout the right.
Agreed.
I think 45. I don't know if 45 would get you Gay from Crystal Palace again. You're just going to have to scout properly. There are a few centre backs about. I think Milinkovic would be 35. I don't know if he's signed a new contract. He might
possibly, yeah.
He could possibly.
I just as long as if we're scouting, for me, all I care about is if we're scouting right and we've got the right player. We've not brought in a player for the sake of getting a player in. We've got in a player because they fit X, Y, Z, and that for me is how I want to see it. And I agree. For me, I think we will be able to get defenders in. I think they will come in over the line. I think what will happen is in the next few weeks now, I think depending on what happens with Harvey Barnes and James Maddison and David Raya, I think we'll start seeing more outgoings and going, well, this person's got to go. We're going to start seeing a lot more reports on players going out than players coming in. Longley, keep him or back to Barcelona. He's already gone back to Barcelona.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I know your answer on this. Would you keep
Yeah,
him?
sack him. I would hire him back just so I can sack him again. That's how much I dislike Clement Longley as a footballer.
I just thought, do you know what? Longley was a weird one because I was actually really optimistic when we signed him. I thought, do you know what? We might have something there. But the problem what you've got is we haven't got, and I feel like he gets a lot of criticism, and understandably so. I mean, defensively we've been crap, but when you've got the likes of Longley and Romero, neither one of them is a proper defender.
Yeah.
Neither one of them is. That one of them is a headless chicken, and the other one is nice on the ball, passes well.
But he's not a defender.
He's not really a hard-hitting defender. Is sometimes what you need, like a proper composed defender.
A defender that likes to defend. Lewis Dunk.
Thank you. Exactly. Bang on. Another question we've got here. What are we currently offering David Wright? Is it still 20 million? I don't think it'll be that. I think we'll be offering a lot more than that. I think it'll be a bridge.
Will get him, I believe.
I think so. I've always said I think it will end up being 30 million quid with 10 million on add-ons. Is way we'll probably do it, and that's how I think. I think we'll get David Wright. I'm staying positive on that one. Big up Ryan Macy. Considering that Tottenham have had the likes of Gaza, Ginola, Klinsmann, etc., and survived. How long do you think the transition period will be if Kane leaves this summer? Great question. Do you know what? That's an actually great question. What you got? I'll let you go first, mate.
When those players were here and left, we had functional teams. This team is totally dysfunctional in all aspects of football. If Kane goes, we will be mid-table at best. We will be 10th.
I keep swinging from pillar to post on this one, and you might call me Sean.
Captain Javiana.
Calling me the new Captain Javiana, because I am going to flip flop on this. Because initially, my thought process wasn't that, but I've actually took a little depth into it. I think, and this is just literally my opinion. This is no fact behind it. It's just my thought process. I think that Postecoglou will start creating a system where we score goals from across the park.
Yeah.
Where we're not relying on one player. And listen, I hope we do that this season coming, with or without Kane, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't want to, and it sounds crazy, by the way, because I love Harry Kane, favourite player at Tottenham. Whenever I talk about Harry Kane, I have to explicitly explain that, because people think I hate him because I think that he should leave and go and win trophy.
It's another quote from Sava. We are not Harry Kane fans. We are not Son Heung-min fans.
Yes. I love Harry Kane. I always say, got picture up here, picture here, and a picture here of Harry Kane. But Tottenham is the key. This is the key point. This is the key point about it, because I think that we need to be smart now.
Yeah. Kane's not leaving.
With or without Harry Kane this season. Sorry, mate. Sorry, say that again.
Kane's not leaving this year.
I don't think he is now. I think
what I know.
I think the ship sailed. Unfortunately,
I will talk to you out of stream, because I still don't. I'm going to have to look this up on certain websites that we will not mention, which are good websites. But there's information that's been told to me yesterday that tells me Harry Kane's not leaving, and I know where he's going.
ITK.
Yep.
He's an ITK. He's the ITK coffee company.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, based on that, but for me at the moment, with the Harry Kane situation though, at the moment, I genuinely think if he stayed, take your word for now.
Yeah.
I think we need to I don't want to see him scoring loads of goals, because that's not what I'm trying to say. But I want to see a system where our goals are spread across the team. Does that make sense?
That's what any team needs. It's what Manchester City has. What Arsenal has.
Some teams work though with having a talisman up front that just gets a load of goals. But when the players behind you, in the likes of, let's be honest, Kulusevski, Heung-min Son, and Dejan and Richarlison, sorry.
Yeah.
Guess they've scored 13 goals this season. Who scored that amount of goals this season? Harvey Barnes.
Yeah.
At Leicester.
Yeah.
Harvey Barnes has scored the same amount of goals as the three players that are meant to be supporting Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Make that of what you will. And that's the thing when people sort of go about, oh, Harvey Barnes, blah blah blah. If he had a really
need
sexy
Flash
Spanish
Harrys
name, you'd all
anymore.
want him.
We're we don't need Flash Harrys anymore. We need solid players that you get what you're giving. Harvey Barnes is. I spoke with this amazingly about 2 years ago with Danny Kiriakou, and we said Harvey Barnes is a good player, and he was like, "Why don't we sign him? We could sign Harvey Barnes."
I just think there's do you know what? When you look at Harvey Barnes, I sit there and go, just sometimes need a bit. He just needs an opportunity, and I think we could offer that. And do you know what? I think he's a good player.
Yeah,
I think he's a good player.
He could be our version of West Ham's Jared Bowen, who's another very good footballer.
Yeah,
we
Jared
need a
Bowen's
player
a very
like
good
that.
player. Jared Bowen was yet another one that I was begging for us to go and sign.
Jared Bowen's a good player.
Agreed. We're going to go for 5 more minutes, mate, because I have to go and carry on doing some work. I've got another question. So big up. Get your questions in. Question. This is for you. Yes. Where's the coffee shop? I might pop in for a brew. I can see Broadway. Is it in Stratford?
No, you can find us at 8 the Broadway in Woodford Green.
Woodford Green.
Which is
David will come join you for a coffee.
That's where you can find us. You can find us around the back of the parade.
Yeah, there you go. So go over there, go and absolutely hijack and go and just all go at once. All 71 of you in here, all go at once. So
people turn up. It's funny. You will see members of the community here on a regular. It's a lot.
Of course. We love it when you're at the community all turn up. It's the Tottenham's community pub. I love it.
Yeah.
Lovely jubbly. And just to sort of touch on, I said we're going to go for a few more minutes, guys. So if you've got any more questions, please get them in now because we'll answer them. Thank you, obviously, for coming on, mate. I just wanted to say that first of all, of course, because I do love it when you come on. Always a good chat. Always a good chat. This season, though, it's going to be hard. We looked at the fixtures. Obviously, came out yesterday. So, where do you see us this season? And are you worried about this season in any way, the slightest?
Only thing I'm worried about is the powers that be letting this manager, who I've spoken. Luckily, there are quite a few Celtic fans at my local watering hole that I go to. And they all say the same thing. This man is a brilliant manager, and I hate you for stealing our manager, because they all love him. Because he turned them round in a year by allowing him to build. If we let him build, we will be a very decent footballing outfit. But it's that if.
Yeah.
If he's allowed to do his job, which has been the problem with Tottenham for many, many years now. The people we hire, the best people in their respective fields, and we don't let them do the thing. This is no longer a rebuild. This is a build.
Yeah, agreed. Totally agree with you, mate.
Even if we finish 14th this year, let the man build.
Agreed. I've said this all along. This season, as long as he doesn't relegate us, we have to keep a hold of him. That's what my thoughts have always been. Don't care where we finish, as long as it's not relegation. Some breaking news, by the way, has just come out by Mr. Romano. It's not about Tottenham, but it's about a certain Man United player who has now been retained by the club.
Yeah.
That's just come out. No outcome yet on Man United's internal investigation. He's just under contract, so remains on the list, but the decision will follow later. So we'll know a bit more on that in the next thing. Man United have also confirmed that Phil Jones and Axel Tuanzebe have been left on a free. There you go. There's our 2 centre-backs. We're done.
Yeah, there we go.
Signed Tuanzebe. They've extended the contracts of Tom Heaton, Nathan Bishop, Ethan Laird, and Ryan Rees-Bennett. Youngsters are theirs. Other one that came out, talks between Chelsea and Brighton for Moise Caicedo will start next week.
Yeah.
As a conversation on personal terms is very advanced, close to being agreed as revealed yesterday. So Moise Caicedo to Chelsea. Any others?
Very solid signing for them. A midfield of Fernandes and Caicedo. That's a good midfield already. Poch is already doing work.
And finally, obviously, Chris Smalling has signed a new deal at Roma, and he stays there for.
He's been quality. He's better than Eric Dyer.
Signed a new 2-year deal.
Ages ago, I would have Chris Smalling, and not now that we're not.
Connor Cody on our team at the moment. We need proper defenders.
He's a good defender. When Roma won the Conference League, like every ball they slung in, he had his head on it. He's a good centre half. He's a very good.
Agreed. No, and we're gonna just quickly finish off because obviously it's hit the hour, so I want to sort of wrap up quickly. But we're gonna last question because West Sydney Flamingo put it out there. Controversial opinion: Longley would be a decent centre back under Ange Postecoglou. Good on the ball. I stress back up. That's a good point. We need to sign another 2 though. What are your thoughts?
Defender though. I want defenders that can defend.
I get that. I'll caveat to this. I wouldn't be too against it, but the problem is when you're going to sign a likes of Longley, you're not. The problem is because he's not. If for example we'd signed him last season instead of getting him on loan, and we signed him for 10 million euros or whatever it was, and permanently, I would be happily to retain him. Because I go, do you know what? We've got something there. Like he's not the greatest, but it's squad player. We need depth at least for the short term. Problem is, if you go and sign a player like him, we then get stuck into the rut of what we've been doing all along. We buy him for 6 million euros, is what's been touted. Not a lot of money, which is the cheap option. Which again, I've got nothing against it. But my problem is, he'll then want a 3-year deal.
Yeah,
he'll be on 60 grand a week, and then he can't get rid of him because he's. I think we need him. I don't think we need him, but my point is, if we kept him, we'd only need him for 12 months. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get him to sign a 12-month contract.
No.
He'll want a 3-year deal, 4-year deal. So that's, for me, I'm going to say no on that, but I don't think he's good enough.
He's not a good defender.
He's not a great defender, no. He's not great at all. Big up, Mike. Always there, mate. Big up. As I said, we're going to just wrap up as well because I have to run away. Go and subscribe to this man. Go and subscribe to this man.
You had it right first time, Perch.
Yeah, go and subscribe to this man. Go and put your link in the chat, and everyone go on there and subscribe. How many away? You're up to 300.
I'm 7 away from 300 subscribers.
Okay, before we finish, can 7 of you go and subscribe to Ben on his channel? Go and put your link in there. I'll pin it as well. So go and put your link in the channel. I'll pin it up
there. Link is in the chat. Link is already in the chat.
Oh, I have seen it. Where is it? Yes, there it is. Everyone go over there. 7 of you go over there and let him pass the 300 mark, isn't it? You should be on. I've always said you should be on a load more subs because you are an amazing man. So everyone go over there and subscribe to this man. Can I pin it? Will it let me? Yeah, pin. I think I've pinned it. I think I have. Yeah, pin. So I've pinned it on the chat. So go over there and subscribe now. I'll give you 5 minutes for guys to go over there and subscribe to him. And we'll do last words really before we run off. I was about to say last words on Spurs, and that was quite good, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm now 17 away from 800. So obviously, guys, if you can, if you haven't, go and subscribe. It means the world. And we'll be up to 800, which will be amazing. And obviously, we're up to 49 likes. So can we get maybe 11 more likes to get up to 60? That'd be lovely as well. Because the likes mean the world because it helps the algorithm and it helps push my stuff out to people. So please go over there and like my stuff. Last word on you, mate. What have you got coming up? Tell me.
So today it's Fridays for the coffee company. It's just another chill day in the coffee company. It's just another day. I don't know what we're going to talk about. We're probably going to talk more about the Holy Grail because I found
the Holy Grail, of course.
I found the Holy Grail. So if you want to see the actual Holy Grail, you can come to the coffee company.
Of course.
And we're just going to be nice to each other, listen to good music, and just be decent human beings. That's what we do.
We all vibe at the coffee company. That's the best part. So
that's all you need.
Can we get one more like to get to at least 50? I like a nice round number. There's 49 at the moment. So someone go and hit that like button.
Yeah, 40.
How many are you away from your magic number, mate?
We are 2 away, apparently.
Come on, 2 more people go and subscribe to Ben. Come on, 2 more people go and subscribe to Ben. He is amazing. Come on, yeah, we've got the 50 likes. Magical. We've got 50 likes, but now let's get Ben for 2 more subs. Come on, do it. We'll wrap up in 2 minutes. And you'll go and sub to him now. Go on, do it.
The only show you need to look forward to is Brewing Bollocks on a Wednesday afternoon.
If you want to go and watch Brewing Bollocks,
for 99, it's your 3 favourite amigos, the Cough, the Coov, and the Kang. And we just talk utter nonsense for an entire hour. And we just argue about Kit Kats and movies and things we like, really. That's what you want to watch, isn't it?
Antonis, thank you so much for the lovely words. And we're going to wrap up because I have to run off because I have got work to do. Thank you so much, Ben, for coming on. Thank you, Mia, for also coming on. I know she can only stay for a little bit. Obviously, go over and subscribe to Mia as well, because she does amazing content on her channel. Well, thank you very much, Leon, and well done, Craig Fenner. Thank you so much, guys. Guys, thanks so much. We're going to shoot. Have a lovely time, and make sure you go over and watch the channel. What time is it? 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Everyone, I'll be over there. So get over there and we'll go and have a little chat about biscuits and stuff. Much love. And have a lovely weekend. We'll be back again tomorrow and on Sunday. We're going to keep the daily streams going because that's how we work. Maybe if we get good numbers in tomorrow, we might stay a little bit longer because I haven't got work tomorrow. So we might stay a little bit longer. Anyway, guys, cheers and see you later.